Well, this is a long time coming. Yes, I know. It's a coincidence that I'm writing this the second paddock came out for Gears 5. Coincidence, I know. Anyway, first things first. As you may have probably noticed, Baird and Cole look very different. It seems as though Baird is a little more chonky this time around, while Cole's a lot less swole, even though in the flashbacks of his Thrashball days, he was big as fuck, which is pretty damn weird. Plus, what kind of beard is that anyway? Those are the most whack chops I've ever seen in my life. Like, what is that? What were the devs going for? It's like, they were like, yup, was that chops on them bitches? And that was it. Such a whack fucking design too. Did he just subtly shrink within a span of like 2 or 3 years? Or is it just me? The graphics are mostly the same as Gears 3. It looks just as nice, but I would assume with very small alterations that you have to look very hard to notice. The only new enemy is the Rager, and they look like a mixture of both human and locust. Nothing really special, as they look pretty damn ugly, in a bad way too. At least the locusts look pretty damn cool. However, their enraged state is really damn cool. They get bigger and have these spikes around their shoulders that make them look very menacing. Almost like you want to run from them bitches. This game has drastically changed in terms of its core mechanics, and for the worse too. It is very clear that they tried to appeal to the Call of Duty crowd at the time, and it shows. The 2 weapons, instead of 2 weapons plus a pistol, pressing Y to switch weapons instead of the D-pad, and having a designated button to throw nades instead of the up D-pad are all mechanics from Call of Duty. It's no secret why this game not only did so poorly, but almost killed the fucking franchise because of its colossal failure. It tried too hard to cash in on its competitors by almost deadass intimidating them, and it just lost what made Gears of War so special and unique. And that's not even touching the multiplayer aspect of the game too, but I will maybe go over it at some point, if more than 10 people play the game. However, what I do like is one new change, just one, and that is the glow on the grenades. That is the one thing I sure hope the Coalition brings back for Gears 6. Too many times in every single Gears title I went, where the fuck did that grenade come from when I died? So it's a nice quality of life change that I really hated not to see in Gears 4 and 5. All the titles from the previous game are here, with some minor changes to a few, and a couple new ones too. You can now aim with the sawed-off / shoot 2 times instead of once, and the hammerburst no longer enters first-person view when aiming down the sights. The new weapons are easily my favorite ones in the franchise, and sadly they happen to be my least favorite one. The Marksman is a semi-auto rifle with a scope on it, and the Breach Shot is a bolt-action rifle with no scope on it. It is honestly a very good breath of fresh air, having to have 2 more rifles instead of just relying on the long shot for long distance damage. Also, the Bushka is meh. I mean, it's kind of good to have a launcher, but the boom shot just kills it because it travels at a straight line instead of at an arc and ricochets off the surfaces. The ricochet is nice, but the damage is too damn low. I might as well be picking up the boom shot instead, even with the superior amount of ammo. One other minor change they did was to the boom shield. Yes, the boom shield. I'm not kidding when I say that. And it's pretty damn cool too. You can now use rifles pretty much anything with the boom shot, and it's compatible. Like, you can literally just waddle around with a lancer, or a long shot, or a boom shot, or literally anything, and you're nearly invincible to all damage. The game overall still plays out like your typical Gears of War game. You go from point A to point B, duck and cover against the bad guys, rinse and repeat for like 12 hours on Insane. The only problem is that you do this the entire fucking game. You don't ever stray away from this type of gameplay at all in the campaign. Despite my criticisms of the first game, at least the dev experimented with driving mechanics. Here, there's no driving section, no rails section, besides like, what, one elevator portion in the game? You don't get to ride a Brumok, you don't get to ride a Centaur, you don't get to ride on a truck, a submarine, you don't get to do anything. But nah. The least you can possibly do is these boring, lame as fuck, repetitive wave defense sections that get old after the second or third time through. Like what the fuck am I playing? Am I playing Horde or something? That is all you get from straying away from your typical Gears of War campaign. It's just a wave defense section at the end of each chapter. That's all you get. Not to mention how few bosses there are in the entire game. I can only account one boss besides the final one. Just one! And that is, you guessed it, a fucking Berserker boss fight. Instead, you fight 2 Berserkers instead of 1. And you only have the Scorcher. And that's it. That's all you get. No Hammer of Dawn, no cars, nothing. There's no strategy. All you gotta do is just lure them to a certain spot and just burn them up with a Scorcher. That's all you do. And just lop them with bullets and explosives over and over again. Like, nah, dude, that shit don't count. That shit don't count as a boss fight. It's too lame. Oh, and speaking of the final boss, I don't even know how I fucking beat him too. Like, I think all you do is just shoot his machine guns first, then this fucking glowing thingy. Then on his next phase, you shoot one of his legs. That's about it. So that's all you do in terms of the Karn boss fight. On top of just spread the enemies all across the map to make it seem harder than it actually is, which it was with the Declassified mission on. Other than that, like, it's the easiest final boss fight in the series. I'm not even gonna front when I say that. Like, it's just not as challenging. Like, I didn't spend like an hour and a half like I did with Queen Mira. No, like, I'd rather have the Gears 2 quote-unquote final boss than wherever this thing is. Okay, maybe that's a pretty hot take, but still, it's a pretty lame boss fight with a very underwhelming payoff too, which I'll explain later. It's a real shame too, because the classified missions are actually decent for the most part. They actually make the campaign a bit more fun, as they add like a bit of a challenge into the mix. Some of which make the game a lot more interesting, and the characters actually provide backstory in their testimonies to them. Like,
I know we're forbidden from using enemy weapons, Colonel, but to survive out there in the field, you have to know how to adapt, and I'm an adaptable man.
some of them are along the lines of, oh, you can only use certain weapons, such as only a snub, or only fucking lancers and boom shields, or additional enemies are on the screen, or reach the end before the venom engulfs you. could have sworn I heard that kind of term before. Or maybe it's just my mind playing tricks on me again. Oh no. Every single drone variant is either a Cyclops or just a regular drone. We don't get a Grenadier, nor the Flame Grenadiers, nor the Grenadier Elites. Nothing. Like, where the hell are those guys at? Did they just slowly disappear or something? They are in Overrun and Survival, but where the hell are they at in the campaign? Were they not existent yet or something? And what's up with the Theron's head though? Why does it have a Savage Theron helmet but a regular Theron armor? Were the devs that lazy, or they just didn't bother to check this type of stuff? No, the story is pretty meh for the most part. As with a couple more prequel 7th gen cash grabs, the game takes place way before the first game. The game interestingly tells its story through a court trial hearing in the middle of a fucking war zone, with each chapter telling each member's testimony in regards to setting off the light mass bomb without Loomis's permission. It's honestly nothing special, and it adds nothing of significance to the established Gears of War lore, other than General Karn leading the destruction of Halvo Bay. I could go my entire life without knowing this stuff. That's how insignificant this game's story is. This is literally, just literally the epitome of why you should never ever make a spin-off based on comic relief characters. You know how Baird always makes a smarter remark every time some dumb shit happens? Like you about to roast everybody in the goddamn room?
How's it going, Baird?
Oh, it's bullshit. Somebody here figured out the Coldplay thrash ball. Now it's all, oh, Coltrane, tell us all about that play again. And, hey, number 83, sign my shirt. Where the hell are you guys?
Like the humans, the Lambent are weak.
Shut your trap, bitch!
Oh, Bear, look. That house over there. I can see us, you and me. Couple of kids, a dog.
Yeah, a great big bottle of suicide pills.
No problem. I've killed glowing leviathans before, remember? At Vectis Dockyard. Saved your asses.
You killed one, a baby, and you wrecked the harbor doing it. That one's twice the size.
So what's your plan? Nag it to death? Wait a minute. You actually could.
Or how Cole is always like,
I think we just found Alpha.
Move.
Oh yeah, I got enough for all of you. Somebody's having a good time up there.
West, baby!
Holy shit. It's one guy.
You missed. You need glasses, sucker. Damn! Oh, you can't see straight.
Who knows you, baby?
Wow. Oh, hell yeah. I think I just invented a new form.
Ah! The train still got the moves, baby. Delta Squad is in your house, bitch. You hear that shit? Your crummy ass bitches are going down, like way down, dead down. So down you ain't gonna know which way is hot. Your ass is gonna be crying till your skink ass quit. Oh, mommy, you let the bad man hurt us. Fuck you. We gonna whoop your mama's ass. Wow.
and how there's always banter between those two characters.
Cole, you there? Everything okay?
Shit, yeah, baby, we got to hook up. They giving us a big-ass dinner. We are going to get dysentery from this shit. Bear's having a hard time adjusting, you know.
Tell Baird to shut up and eat. We'll be back soon. Delta 2, come in. Watch the vents.
Roger. You're not gonna believe where we are.
Soul, could you give us Delta 2's location?
GID readings are fair. Looks like the sewer system?
There's shit everywhere. Come on, Bear. A little bit of this is good for you. Builds your immune system. Yeah, it also builds disease. Delta 2 out.
Oh, shit! We're not gonna make it!
Here we go!
That's it. No more jumps, all right?
Ha ha! Come on, baby, let's do it again! Uh-oh, I think Brad just pissed himself.
Looks like we need to scale that tower.
You read my mind. Baird, you sure you can control that overgrown bladder when we grab it?
Yeah, Tinkle Toes, because you know bladder control ain't your strong suit.
Once. It happened once, okay? Anyway.
Hey, a pet shop! Hey, Barry, look, that one's cute.
Yeah, it can do tricks too, like blowing up in your face.
Ah, so that's where corpses come from.
When a mommy corpser and a daddy corpser love each other very much.
Whoa, stay back, Barry. They would think the first thing he sees is his mother.
Why don't you two guys shut the fuck up before we wake its mother?
Well, guess what, you dumb bastard? We get none of that here. I repeat, I don't recall a single thing I laughed at. At maximum, I smirked once or twice. I smirked once or twice. That's how sad and how neutered these characters were in this game. It's like the writers forgot what made Baird and Cole so special and their sole existence in the previous titles. Like, they were meant to ease off the serious tension between Marcus and Dom. They weren't meant to be the stars of the show. And between Delta Squad, the OG Delta Squad, it clearly shows it. As for Sophia, Min was already a by-the-books character, so why introduce another one? Min was solely put in place as a complete opposite of Marcus and Barrick, as those two were cynical of the COG, while Min was loyal to it. We get none of that kind of discussion between Sophia and Paddock. It's pretty sad too, as it could have had some interesting discussion about the COG and URL morals between those two. Between an Onyx cadet and a former UIR soldier, something that the games never really explored on. But unfortunately, asking for that kind of thing is too much to ask, since all Paddock does is here say fuck you to the COG. And all Loomis is a complete fucking asshole, and that's all I can describe it as, since that's all he does throughout the trial is just berate everybody and accuse people of the dumbest shit ever. With the cherry on top being a overall weak payoff with the underwhelming boss fight. And to make it even worse, this game was released less than 2 years after Gears 3. Yes, you heard that right. Less than 2 years after the last game. So, if everything I just said about the story isn't a huge ringer about this game being a 7th gen prequel cash grab, I don't know what will, man. Aftermath, on the other hand, ho ho ho, it's a little bit better, but I can still live my life without knowing of his existence. At least the writers did Cole and Baird a little more justice this time around. Oh, the interactions here are pretty hilarious too.
So, are you guys stranded?
Everyone here fought for something. No stranded here.
Who are you fighting for now?
Don't ask stupid questions.
Wow, they put on a real welcome home party for you, Paddock.
Be quiet. Something is very wrong.
So, how close is this boat you're gonna give us?
Please shut up for a second, okay? We need to head toward the rig.
We're gonna need explosives.
Explosives? Why? That's the boat?
I never said it was in the water.
Can we have your helicopter instead?
No!
Oh, come on!
You better call on you back.
You call her back.
Could I have gone my entire life without knowing of its existence? Yeah, sure. But it's pretty interesting to be like, I wonder what Cole and Beard were up to when Marcus sent them out to fetch some reinforcements. At the bare minimum, we at least get to see closure on both Paddock's and Sophia's part of things, so that's nice to hear. Or not.
You wanna know what happened to Sophia? Kidnapped while she was out on patrol. I watched it happen through my scope. I was only able to kill one of them. He dropped these. You wanna stay friends? Let's never see each other again.
Yeah, you better remember that line when we get to Gears 5 later on. As for the collectibles, they are essentially the same as Gears of War 1's, except all they include is a description of how they died. Like, hey, this guy was burned to death. Hey, this guy was shot to death. Hey, this guy was hit by a torque bow while trying to save an innocent family. Oh, this guy was shot by being a fucking pussy. Wait, hold up. Barrick, Valera. Could've sworn I seen those names before. Wait, hold up. T. Carlson. Are you telling me that Tucker Carlson is in the Gears universe and died in the Locust War? Like, oh my fucking god, like no game since Gears 2 has topped anything in terms of cog tags. Like, nothing will beat that game, ever. Gears 4 suffers this exact same problem, except it's even worse. And if you recall from a Gears of War 2 video, the cog tags give very descriptive bios about those who died. But here, they just list how they died. And that was it. No bio, nothing. But hey, at least we get that instead of fucking nothing like in Gears 3 and 4. So, how does this game hold up after all this time? Well, it's pretty damn mediocre for the most part. It does absolutely nothing to stray away from its typical Gears of War gameplay. The story is fucking just meh. The characters have just been neutered to oblivion. They also introduce and change mechanics that no one fucking asked for. Like, who asked for any of this? Except the people who go, oh, it's the same game every time. Meanwhile, buying another Call of Duty game for the 6th year in a row, therefore destroying what made Gears of War special to begin with. As a standalone title, just by itself. No association with anything. I give this game, like, it's average. It's an average shooter. But the fact that it has Gears of War in the title is just insulting to a long-time Gears fans like myself. It pisses me off too, because they spent $100 million making this pile of fucking trash that was not needed ever. Epic claimed to have give Microsoft the Gears of War IP because the games were getting too expensive to make. But yet they just blew all their money making this steaming pile of trash that no one fucking asked for. That's the most insulting part about all of this. I heard that they gave the Coalition just like a draft or some shit for Gears of War 4, and that's about it. Had they not blow their money on this fucking uninspired prequel cash grab piece of fucking shit, we could have easily had a way better version of Gears of War 4 and that abomination known as Gears 5's launch. Or better yet, end the series on a high note with Gears of War 3 since it's the best one. Now I got that off my chest. And next time we'll dive into Gears of War Oh. Completely forgot about you. Oh well. Time to review this game and see how well the Coalition remade the Gears of War 1 classic. See you all in the next one.